My, what a lovely day outside. Birds are chirping. Boat's sitting there looking all pretty. I should be in it, but I'm not. But that's what happens when you got a 1-year-old in the house. Some days you're playing daddy duty. And that is some of the best time you'll ever spend in your life. If you have kids, you'll understand. If you don't have kids, well, you'll get the picture eventually. I was told in the comment section never to film my backyard again. So, oops, we're going to cut this before I get in trouble. Alright, so welcome back to the fish cave here. And you can see I've got a couple things already set out, a bait already poured. I kind of just didn't have the camera ready and wasn't really thinking about it when I started this project. But for those of you who kind of follow the bait world closely, particularly on Instagram, you might have heard about this right here. So Dead Meat Customs, who makes a lot of my eyes, he did my logo eyes that I recently got. He's been kind of promoting an autism awareness bait concept, or bait, kind of a bait contest. So you can see there that there's a picture of a bait that matches the eyeball, and we have the, of course, the puzzle piece autism logo there. And so what he's done is anyone who wanted to enter the contest, he has sent, come on baby, come on. He has sent a pair of eyes to. I mean, look at that. Spectacular. So I kind of entered the contest late. I just kind of wasn't real. I just kind of didn't catch on to it. But yeah, the Dead Meat Custom Autism Awareness Creative Concept Contest. There's a lot of guys been submitting some cool stuff. So I figured I would make a bait, and if I don't technically enter the contest, there's a couple rules to follow. You can find it on his Facebook page. By the time you're watching this video, it's too late to sign up. I actually got the last set of eyes. I have one shot to get this right. So what I've decided to do is to take the StankX Baits 7-inch bait mold, which is this bad boy right here. And you can see I've just kind of loaded it up with glitter matching the colors. The colors are green, red, yellow, and blue. So I've used green, red, gold, and blue flake. And you can see I have the same colors measured out and some powder. Now, what I decided to do was cut out a puzzle piece. So I literally drew this on a piece of cardboard and cut out this puzzle piece. So the puzzle piece is going to go on the side there, and I'm going to use the mica powders to paint sort of just a hodgepodge of all of these colors that complement the logo colors around the puzzle, so that whenever I remove the puzzle piece, you can kind of see the original color of the bait sort of as a relief. I kind of played with that concept here. You can see there are the colors, and then the outline of a puzzle piece is just in the background there. So hopefully it'll look decent. Yeah, so that's what we're going to attempt to do. I'm going to show you some of it. Basically, this was just LureWorks black colorant, and then a ton of the .035 flake, so the medium-sized flake in a bunch of different colors, and just trying to match up the colors as best I can. So yeah, hopefully this doesn't look like complete garbage. Alright, so essentially I'm just going to kind of dab a little bit of the gold mica powder, and I just want to hold this puzzle piece down in place. That way I can kind of maintain the shape of it whenever I go to remove this powder. And so sort of my idea here is to paint the whole thing with powder to about there, and so you're only going to see the black with all the flake and just the tail portion, and then whatever is behind this powder here. Let me zoom in a little bit there. So yeah, that's all I'm doing, and and then we'll take some blue and get some blue powder in the mix here. And this isn't the exact shade of blue that that the logo is technically made with. It's a darker shade of blue, but this is what I have, and you know, it's gonna work, I think, more than okay. Like if this turns out looking awful, I don't think it will be because the shade of blue isn't perfect. I think it will be because it just looks awful. Yeah, some red up top. Really try to get it in the grooves there. I didn't want to like try to glue this thing to the edge of the bait. I probably could have used some spray adhesive or something that isn't, you know, too strong, but just kind of wanted to play it safe here. Alright, so I've got it blown off there, and so hopefully I can remove this and we'll have, yeah. Oh, I messed up the green, no! Well, yeah, you can kind of see the idea. I'm gonna try and maybe remove some of that. Let me get back to you guys. That was almost what I wanted to do. Okay, so I was able to clean it up a little bit. See if I can get that to focus. Yeah. So, not bad considering this has just kind of all been freehand. I literally just took a piece of cardboard and drew out the shape of a puzzle piece. So now what we're going to do is we're going to heat set that with the heat gun, and then I'm just going to fill in the powder around it. I don't have to be as precise because I'm not going to, you know, get into my puzzle piece there. And then we'll meet you back whenever we have this side done. Alright, now we're going to get the other side started. Alright, next up we'll do some red. And you know, next we'll do some blue, and so on and so on. You already watched this on the other side, so I'm going to cut it here so that we're not on this for too long. Okay, and since this contest is largely centered around the eyes, figured I would go ahead and film the putting on of the eye. I think we'll just kind of do it up that way. So I definitely don't want it, you know, like angled or something. So I think just straight, kind of up and down like that. Yeah, there we go. Like I said, I have one shot at this. I only have one set of eyes. But once that's clear dipped, everything will be really shiny. And I definitely think it goes with the color and sort of the puzzle piece theme. Alright, let's clear dip our bait here. We need to go up to about there. Boy, yeah, nice and shiny. I tell you, it matches really well. Now that I kind of see it dipped and all the color is out. Yeah, it's a little better than I thought it was going to turn out. To be honest, you know, I could have, you know, maybe used some of my aluminum molds and skin poured and used dotting paint and things like that, but I said this will be completely different than hopefully what anyone else is doing. It's not really about trying to win a contest. It's just about entering such a good awareness campaign. But you know, you always want to do a good job and make something that looks good. So I said, well, kind of doing the shadow relief effect instead of painting on a puzzle piece or doing anything else. I said it'll kind of be the backdrop of it, so to speak. So anyway, going in the bath, and we'll look at it after it's done. Well, okay, there it is, y'all. The Dead Meat Customs Autism Awareness Campaign Bait Challenge Contest thing. So, I mean, look at how awesome he did with those eyes. I mean, golly, he's so much better at what he does than I am at what I do. You know, I could only hope to make something that is worthy of an eyeball like that being on there. But kind of a cool, you know, sort of all by hand sort of little concept there. Well, hey guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the Dead Meat Custom Autism Awareness bait. So now we're going to continue with our bait blog. I'm going to be running a lot of crawls. So I'm going to be doing some grass grenades and then the new punch bug that Angling AI developed with Terry Scroggins. And then I'm probably going to also run some crawls with my bass tackle mold. It's the Bass Tackle 709 crawl. Yeah, that's a oldie, golden oldie right there. That mold's been around a long time, still makes a great crawl. So we're gonna be running a couple different molds here, and we're gonna make sort of a yellowish, brownish, kind of real natural color, similar to Cooter Brown, speaking of Terry Scroggins. So anyway, we're gonna jump in here. We're gonna be running a lot of baits. We're going to be using the dead-on plastic swim bait, jerk bait blend, but the Featherlight, the floating stuff. Now these baits are for sale, so if you like what you see, I'm going to be selling a big bag of all of these together. So I don't know how many I'll have, but at the end of the video, if you're like, hey, you know, I want to try to grab those crawls from today, just email me. So, but I haven't run like a lot of baits in a while. I've just been itching just to grab my injectors and just run them. You know, sitting there doing all those pours is great. You can make some awesome stuff. I actually have some stuff to show you guys. But sometimes, man, I just want to punch out some baits. So let's get started. Okay, so I've kind of skipped a few steps since I'm trying to cover a few different bases in this video. So what I have here is just sort of a yellow, orange, and a brown. So the yellow and orange is, of course, just yellow and orange. Two of my favorite dead-on colors. They have a really great yellow. I like it because it kind of already has an orange hint to it. It's more of a school bus yellow, old school school bus. And then this is just regular dead on brown for this side right here. And I'm adding some large size flake, the .062 stuff, as my texture for both of these. That's it. I'm not adding any other types, sizes, or colors of glitter. It's just going to be black flake in both sides. And again, this is the dead-on plastic floating blend, and this stuff is super easy to work with. It takes longer to set up, so you can work with it longer before it needs to be reheated. And there's no tack to it at all. You know, you take it out of the mold, and it's already dry as a bone. So yeah, it was really, really awesome whenever they came out with the floating stuff here. It's called the Featherlight. So anyway, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the C block, which is this doohickey here. It's Angling AI's blending block, and it's sort of the injection equivalent of the hand-poured divider cup. You know, it throws all sorts of cool, interwoven, sometimes swirly-looking patterns into the mold. It's not a swirl like a candy cane swirl like milking the cow. It just throws them all together. Camouflage patterns is what it made Josh think of. That's why it's called the C block. C block for camo block. So anyway, this is looking pretty good here. So we're going to C block some baits for you guys. All right, and here we go. So gonna give these a quick little stir just to get my flake stirred up. A lot of times that large flake will really try to settle on you, and you really need to get it stirred up. So here's our C block here, and it's just like a traditional blending block. You just line it up. I prefer the perpendicular. You can do it inline. I think doing it this way just gives your baits a better effect. So let's see. Plastic might be trying to set up on me a little bit there. Try to get these grass grenades here. Go back over and top off that mold. Let's see if we can get one more. Alrighty. I think that's probably all we're gonna get. Yep, that was pretty much the end of the line. So hopefully that doesn't look too bad. And for anyone that might be new to soft plastics, first off, welcome. Hope you'll find some of this content helpful. But this is what the inside of the C block looks like. It's not your typical blending block, and here's kind of what it looks like. Well, yeah, you can see kind of how it does the plastic. It just throws it in there randomly. So a really, really cool device. And there again, you know, it's much quicker than milking the cow. Yeah, really, really good tool for awesome effects. All right, a few things to look at here, but first, drum roll. All right, let's take a look at these grass grenades first. Yeah. Yeah, sort of a real natural kind of brown craw color. And just kind of look at the way that the C block just kind of blends things together. And if you want more kind of defined lines in the blending, mix your colors up super thick. That way there's a lot of contrast between each one. These I didn't mix as thick, so they're blended a little more gradually. But you can adjust the type of effect you get by how thick you mix up your plastic. So that's just something to keep in mind. You can really, really play with it. Come on, and get your blends exactly how you want. And a lot of that's just the opaqueness of your mix. So yeah, let's get them off the runners here. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Now we're going to look at the punch bugs. Okay, here's punch bug mold number 1. Yeah, you can see we kind of got more brown on one side. But let's take him out. Yeah, that one didn't get as much brown over here as I wanted. You know, there's a little bit of both in there, but that's my first time ever C block in this mold, I think. So I might play with the direction of my C block. So yeah, because it's kind of a little more half and half. You know, this mold is a little bit different because you have plastic going both left and right. You know, most molds you have a runner on one side and then the cavities all go one direction. So all the plastic, both colors, can only really go one way. In this mold, they can kind of go both ways. So I might play around. This is kind of a good learning experience for me. I might play around with how I do this and see if I can get a different and or better result. But still, really, really good looking bait. I mean, it's hard to hate anything that you pull out of this mold. Believe me, this mold is absolutely killer, and I'm sure this one kind of did the same thing. I don't know. This one seemed to do a little better. You know, maybe there again, maybe it was just an issue of temperature. I don't know. So little bit of flash in there. I pushed really hard. So I don't know. Those right there are like spot on. So I don't know. Maybe it is a temperature thing. Either way, very, very interesting. But I'm loving the color so far. It's kind of looking exactly like I wanted it to. Alright, so we're going to do another round here, and this time we're going to, at least on the punch bug mold, we're going to try to do the C block inline and just see if that creates a different effect, see if it maybe puts the effects more where we want them. Who knows? I have zero idea how this is going to go. And in a way, that's kind of exciting. So lock it in, and here we go. Alright. Feels like that filled. Now we're going to do this one in the regular way. Oops. And see how that looks in comparison. Okay, so here's the one where I did the block perpendicular, or inline, sorry. And let's see what it did. Yeah, to me that kind of did things a little more evenly. Yeah, it's not just all brown on one side, all yellow on the other side. It kind of is more so this way now, top to bottom, instead of left to right. But, you know, I really like that. I think those are sharp. Well, and so here's the other one, which was done kind of the way that I would normally set it up. And you know what? That one did good too. So, who knows? That's the thing about the C block. It truly is a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And real quick, take a look at these stingers here, these grass grenades. One of these molds opens easily, and then one of them just doesn't. Come on now. All those little ridges on the baits kind of glue these bad boys together. Jeez, you would amateur hour over here. So yeah, I mean, like, see what I mean? The stinger, just the C block and the stinger are just almost just a criminal how good the pair is there. It's amazing. All right, and just real quick, these are the Bass Tackle 709 crawls. These are a 2-cavity version. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're going to be hopefully shooting 10 of these. Well, so the first 709 crawl here, I actually used to call this the punch bug, oddly enough, which I guess it still kind of could be. So, yeah, there it is right there. Like I said, the first mold worked. The second mold, they did not come out. But I think these other ones, I definitely gave them a lot of elbow grease. So these other ones should be good to go. There we go. Yep. Great bed fishing bait here. Awesome mold. So, yeah, anyway, got a few more stingers to demold, and then we'll take a look at everything that we did. Well, there you have it, guys. Just like that, 65 baits. So it's like 32 punch bugs, 17, I think, grass grenades, and then the remainder is the 709 crawls. So, yeah, really lovely color. There again, if you guys want these, send me an email. I sometimes take a while to respond to my emails. The traffic to the emails are it's very flattering, but golly, it is overwhelming. It is so hard to write everybody back. So yeah, worldsworstfishing@gmail.com. If you want a big bag of all of this, all 65, I'm not going to break them up into groups. I'm just going to sell them as a big bulk, you know, monster crawl creature bait bonanza bag. So anyway, you'll see that this is sitting on an electric griddle. What's that all about? Let me show you what that's all about real quick. So the griddle is basically a heat source for these aluminum hand pour molds. Because heat is so important to being able to pour cleanly without cold cracks, you know, it's something that you really need with aluminum. So Richard Ray over at Raw Baits kind of told me, hey, you know, you need to do this. You've probably seen some other guys doing it, but definitely now that you're getting serious with hand pour and aluminum, you need to do it. And it gives you clean lines like that, clean baits without any cold cracks, just getting your molds to scorching hot temperatures. Okay guys, well, couldn't be two different things there, but there's a look at the bait from the beginning of the video. So there's everything that we did. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please shoot me lots of comments down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.